Here I am, looking like a nun. It's your boy Moss, brought to you by the Esoteric Soji. Here to talk about the moon in Gemini, sun in Scorpio. Full live is on my Instagram and TikTok somewhere. So we are reacting and responding to our deep passions, motivations, and way of communicating and thinking about death, shared resources, and all these aspects. You know what I'm saying? We're relating our ideas, bringing bubbles to these things. And so we're going to start with the obvious one, the in conjunction. See, the in conjunction, because it comes from where Gemini is talking to himself about its opposite energy, Sagittarius, which is right next door. So in order to get to Sagittarius to relate meanings and reasons, you got to go through a death, a transformation, and have something like spook you into getting up and getting active and pulling that from the dark into the light and creating a new philosophical point of view about it for your spirituality, for yourself. And with Mercury doesn't really like to be in the water, right? So if you got a lot of, you know what I'm saying, air placements or water placements, you can look actually to Mercury with the moon being here in Gemini because it's the depositor, right? So your communications are going to come across as you misunderstanding how to relay a message, to genuinely go out and let your thoughts, you know what I'm saying, you have no problem going out and doing it, but how your thoughts, they don't necessarily make sense because of Gemini, but you're sharing the idea, and the idea has potential to go to different people, places, things, situations, and scenarios. So you can use that Mercury energy where it's not so happy to see how your air is supposed to actually look, you know what I'm saying, and be grateful that you have this opportunity for when it does go into, you know what I'm saying, its next sign and back into air, you can fully go for your ideas and conversations that you want to have. But you can still have these opportunities. It's just going to be about the past when it's trying in the South Node in Libra about balance, stability within relationships, bringing networks of people together, you know what I'm saying, and seeing how the Middle East crisis and things of that nature, you communicate that and take that gift and run with it, and you have your spiritual vocal sovereignty, open throat chakra to take the opportunity to make the mistake, Chiron, Aries, and the North Node that will set you on your spiritual path to communicate something. So you can communicate something that triggers somebody to get on that motherfucking game, to get the ball in the motherfucking court, going into the motherfucking North Node, right? So, like, in the past, you can see how a mistake led to something from the past that you're hearing now. So it's an opportunity because you don't see where it will lead. You're throwing that out there to see where it can bounce. Like, you can have an idea of the element of its fire. It's a spark, so something's going to spark. Something's going to be seen from opportunity from what you say, but you don't know because you're just going about your spiritual path, and it might be uncomfortable. So you might spout something that puts, you know, brings energy to someone else's uncomfortable area of sparking an awareness of being an individual and going about that path. Now, with it squaring to Venus needs help. It's debilitating in Virgo. So you're going to bring that bubbly, airy, light energy, right, to where you not, you know what I'm saying, Virgo out is introspectiveness, because it's going to be not fixed, but it's going to be relating and self-analyzing, self-critiquing how it's doing its love language, how it's compromising its stability, and how someone else, are they compromising the right way? Are they compromising with these detailed aspects like you are? But Gemini's gonna be you a bubble that's gonna send you to different areas where, you know, Virgo, you're trying to grab everything and make it make sense, bring it down here to take care of these things, right? Where you could be within yourself like a maiden and things of that nature. But it's gonna assist you and give you a new awareness to think and critique, and you critique that in the bubbly, light way, so it just flies past someone's ear over their head. But when they come back around to compromise and you get back to your love natures and certain details that don't add up with something that you said earlier, there's going to be that energy. And Gemini ain't never been stopped before from being lost in the sauce, because all the Aquarius energy that's backed and supported by Saturn, how the restrictions that built up to the wisdom that's ready to transition, you're going to have that gift as well to relate ideas and bring new awarenesses and ideas before you jump back into that Piscean energy. So you might be coming out of a disillusionment, and Saturn's going to get ready to validate that, and you can go set on a new path of a new dream and be creative with that disillusionment that you're coming out of. Or you're going to go into a delusion based off of one of these many ideas, sons or daughters, grandsons and daughters of your original thought, and get lost in the sauce. So be mindful of that as well. And the moon sextile, not sextile, in conjunct Pluto and Capricorn on the other side, taking power, control, and transformation over something that was built from a meaning and reasoning that was freaking added to these things. And because you were seeing where you misunderstand something, then you're like, oh, I have all these ideas for how to build something, but you're trying to build something to talk about. You're trying to build something to you're trying to build something to talk about emotionally, something that can be related to something that shit fucking Venus trining Pluto and Capricorn is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna analyze where Gemini was relating this emotion and where it needs to work on that. But it's still a gift. But you could use that gift. You could always use something in a better relation. So with that in conjunction, you need to understand that it's coming from a place of, you know what I'm saying, bringing the new awareness from something that was taking power and control over, and a death was put to. And you can look at you can look at Scorpio, what you're giving attention to, and what you're giving attention to, you can build off that, not just have to express it in the thought or just talk about something being built on, but actually blow the dust, bring nutrients to the desert, to the underworld. You know what I'm saying? You can carry that stench, that aroma, that hue that you can set you on that path. You know what I'm saying? So that's the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Gemini. Thank you for attention. Say bye. Moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini.